So good morning. Welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm here today with Stefan, who is our new colleague, and Fabian. They will take over later. So while we are waiting others to join us, let me introduce myself. I'm Barbara and I'm working in the customer success team in Stockholm, and I'm responsible for supporting and making our customers happy. We are all very excited to start the first webinar of the year. During our last webinar, we asked for your input about webinar topics for 2023, and the majority voted for the search function. So our topic today is how to search from scratch in the IamIP platform. Our focus is to show you how a non-expert in searching can use our platform search function to check if a new idea does not compromise any existing patent or pending application. An example will be given, so you can find out step by step how you can start a search from zero. Let's have a look at the agenda of this webinar. After an introduction from our new colleague, I will give you a short summary about our search function. Then I will present the steps for a successful search, and after I will demonstrate the process with an example. At the end of the webinar, as usual, we will answer to your questions, so don't hesitate to use our chat function. Even during the presentation. Now, let me introduce our new colleague, Stefan, who is an experienced patent searcher. And now I hand over to him. He will be interviewed by Fabian about his experience and career.
Yes, so first, also welcome from my side. Welcome to 2023. Before we will start with the interview, we will just wait 1-2 minutes more to wait for some other participants. I think it's still early enough. Today, as Barbara mentioned, we have 30 minutes to give you some introduction to the different search functions that we have, to give you some insights of how you can start from scratch. I'm really happy that we have Stefan here. Later he will tell a bit more about his career, also a bit who he is. And I can say I'm really happy that we have him on board. Let's wait 1-2 minutes more that other participants can join. As I mentioned, I hope you all had a good start in 2023. From my side, I can say it was already a really fast start. There was no big vacation at the beginning of this year, of this month, but I'm happy to see that so many people are active. So many people are interested also in this webinar today. So therefore, just wait 1 minute more and then we will start. And from here, as Barbara mentioned, this webinar is about searches. How you can do the searches in IamIP. And here I'm really happy to show you today, and Barbara will show you how you can really start from scratch. And I believe this is really something, if you don't do searches every day, or a few times in a week, then maybe it's really hard to find a good starting point. And today the webinar, hopefully will give you really a good insight of how you can start, how you can collect information. But from here, I think, Stefan is just waiting for presenting who he is. But therefore, as I mentioned, we're really happy that Stefan is on board, that he's in the IamIP family. So everybody say hello to Stefan. And therefore, I would like to start, and asking you, Stefan, maybe, can you tell us who you are?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Stefan. I'm with IamIP since the 1st of December 2022, and I had really enjoyed the last weeks, and I'm really happy to be part of the IamIP team.
And from here, as you see here a bit, who is Stefan? He has a big career already in the patent field, but I think maybe we start at your background, so maybe you can tell us a bit where you started your career.
Yes, I started as a mechanic in prototype construction team. After that, I worked for a big German textile machinery manufacturer. So I learned a lot about machines and about the developing of these machines.
Yeah, and I mean, this is quite interesting. I believe there's some other participants here that maybe also start somewhere in the technical field. Maybe you can tell a bit more about the degree that you have.
Yes, I finished my education as a certified mechanical engineer, and I worked as an assembly technician.
Yeah, and I mean, now we all are curious of how you started then to come in a patent department. I mean, as I mentioned before, so many people just started somewhere
after
else.
that, I saw a job offer at the same company. Yes, after that, I saw a job offer in the same company, and for me, it was time to change to a new chapter, and the company was searching for a patent searcher. So I believe with my technical knowledge, I can start this, and this could be the next step.
Yeah, and I mean here, just to see the next step, how was it for you? I mean, you see here the duck that jumped into the water. Yeah, so maybe how was it for you to starting in the patent department? What was really new for you?
Yes, here I personally jumped into the deep end because up to this point, I had no idea about patents or patent search or something like this.
Yeah, and I mean, we got now the question that the sound is a bit bad. I hope the quality will be a bit better. Yeah, but maybe we just hope that the quality will be a bit better now. But just to go from here, Stefan, I mean, some people are maybe also curious about how is it to start in the field with patents and patent searches. So can you tell a bit more about how you start to be a good patent searcher?
Yes, I started with trainings in the platform I used in the old company and talked a lot to other experts, also through seminars with the topic of search, and but also with learning by doing and really often try and error. And in Germany, it's possible to get a certification as a patent searcher. So I do this, and most of the sometimes I use webinars like this one today.
Yeah, and I mean, Stefan and me, we had a long discussions also, what is really important maybe, and we wanted to summarize a bit, the points that could be really helpful for starting to be a search expert. And what we believe is, and this is for point number one, that if you're starting a search, we believe it's better to starting really a bit more wider than too narrow, because it's better to check more documents than to being too special, too specific. Then the second point is, of course, we're living in Germany, and we always try to do then with German words the searches, but I believe, or we believe, that it's really good also to do it from two sides, one with the English keywords and the German keywords, to have really the biggest view on documents. The third point, I think this is really important, that you take your time for your searches, because if you're starting, then you need to read the documents, you need to get an understanding. So better take your time and really focus and create your search strings. As Stefan mentioned, this is really, you need to do the searches. Everybody can fail in doing this, but don't be afraid to fail, because at some point, if you're doing with more knowledge, with more experience, you will getting better in the process. And what you need to know is it's a never-ending process. So the world is changing. Also, the patent world is changing. And if you're doing searches, of course, if you're just starting, you will never find an end. So at some point, you need to find the end. But of course, if you're doing searches from different perspectives, then this can take some time. This was the beginning. I hope now you get a good understanding who is Stefan. You will see him in the future more and more, and also maybe already in the chat function you had some conversations. But from here, I would like to give the words to Barbara, and I will come then to the end back. So therefore, Barbara, I would like to hand it over to you and give the words to you.
Thank you, guys. So now let's start with a small summary about our search function. As you might know, with the search function, you can search for patents that are already in the database. With our tool, you can have a good understanding of what is happening in the world, as you will have access more than 145 million patent publications in the database and 100,000 new publications every week from around 105 countries. Our tool presents the patents by patent family. So you can see on this slide the patent family for one invention with its members, shown with flags under also published as. In this example, we have an invention with Chinese, German, and American patent family members. So it means that the company ABB is active in these countries for this invention. As we have patents from 105 countries, we provide lots of documents translated in multiple languages. In order to see a document in another language, you just have to use the machine translation on each document. You have the possibility to choose a preferred language as well, which means that you will automatically see the documents in that language in instances where we have the translations available. We have different search types to search patent documents that you can use on the top of the platform or by clicking on patent search menu. So let's start with the basic search types. So if you want just to do a simple search, like a Google search, the best option is the simple search with one field. For example, to quickly check a publication number or the name of a competitor. If you want to do a dedicated search for different fields, the field search is the best option. In this case, you can distinguish the fields and all fields are connected to an AND operator. For example, if you put Apple in the applicant field and mobile in the text field, you will see only hits for mobiles filed by Apple. If you would like to do more complex searches, you have two options. On the one hand, the flexible search, where you can combine the different fields with either AND or NOT operators. On the other hand, you can also choose the command line search for more complex searches. This is an expert search with all the operators, so this is highly recommended for the ones who are more experienced with searches. After this introduction about our search function, it is high time to give you guidance about how to start a search from zero. Let's just jump right in. We will have 3 steps to go through. The first step is to find what is your reason for your search. Why do you want to perform a search? For every search, you have a reason why you would like to do a search. In some cases, you may only want to check fast what you can find for a competitor, or you have an idea and you would like to see if you can already find publications in this field. Sometimes you are even interested in to perform a prior art search or a freedom to operate search. There are different cases, and for each case, a search can look different. Also, the time you will spend on different types of searches is different. So in a case study, it is important to make it clear what is your plan. If you would like to check if your idea or invention is already published, then you need to do a prior art search. But if your aim is to know in which markets can you operate freely without violating someone else's existing patent, then you need to perform a freedom to operate search. When you have decided this question, you need to make a restriction in your search by knowing what types of documents are relevant for you. And this is based on the aim of your search. If the aim is to do a prior art search or just a simple monitoring search, in other words, to check what your competitors are doing, the best option here is to observe all types of documents, so both granted and pending. After defining your case and knowing why you are doing the search, you can start to collect the information that you already know. Do you know the name of your competitors? More precisely, you need to think about if you know any company who is in your technological field and or who is doing the same. You also need to think about the name of the technical field. Is it chemistry? Is it physics? And also possible CPC, IPC classes that are describing the technology field of your idea or invention. Some words about CPC, IPC classes in the patent word in order to describe an invention. The patent offices use different classifications to classify the content of the patent. So the different codes of a class correspond to a specific technical field. This is quite good because with the help of these codes, you can easily find relevant documents as these classes are harmonized. So even if inventors use different words to describe their inventions, at the end, both inventions will be classified by the same class. So you can avoid missing out important documents. Of course, offices can make mistakes and give the wrong classifications. So that is why it is also good to have in mind some keywords with which you describe the main topic of your subject. But you need to collect some synonyms and words that describe your topic as well. This is very important because the language is free to use in the patent world. So different inventors describe inventions and use words differently. Once you have done this, the final step is starting the search in the IamIP platform. This search is based on all the information that you owe from the previous step. So let's briefly take a closer look at this process. I will detail these points with an example later during this presentation. So before starting the search, highlighting keywords can help to visualize how often something relevant has been described in the text. It can give you a good feedback of how relevant a document seems to be. Then the search can be started with the information you have and see what you get. After you have found 3-4 documents that seem to be relevant, you can learn a lot about the language used in these and get more information that will help you modifying the initial search string. Based on all information you have, you can create a list and start to iterate the search string in different ways from different perspectives. After combining different search criteria, you need to check the results. It is important to know that a search does not mean one search. It is a process that requires you to iterate it, modify it several times to get a good overview coming from different perspectives. And finally, you need to check the citations of the relevant documents, as these can give you even more documents in the same area that can be important. Okay, so now let's take this theory into practice via an example. My mom is a dental assistant by profession, and she has always been very obsessed with nice teeth that can give a nice smile. Because of this, as soon as my first teeth came in, she was very strict with dental hygiene. This experience gave me the idea and motivated me to launch a company called IamSmartSmile in this area. The company is producing different kind of toothbrushes. When I was a small kid, my mom explained how to brush my teeth properly and so on. So I was lucky that she was very keen on monitoring how I did it and for how long I did it. And she gave me tips and tricks if I brush too hard, for example. But of course, our mom cannot be there all the time. And as we grow up and start working and even studying, we are prone to neglect our oral hygiene. So I started brainstorming about a solution that can help us by telling us if we are doing the brushing right. I came up with the idea of a smart toothbrush that can give feedback how well you did your brushing. My idea is to develop a toothbrush with different sensors that can detect the intensity of the brushing and if you missed out some teeth. An application in your phone would be developed also that gathers these data and then give you the feedback. So after I had this great idea, the question immediately hit me. Are there any patents about smart toothbrushes? As my colleagues and I work with the IamIP platform, the very first thing I need to do is some searches in this area to check if I can find some relevant documents. Before starting the search, I need to build up my case. I know that I want to develop a smart toothbrush and I would like to sell it worldwide. My aim is to check what has already been published in the field of smart toothbrushes. As a result of this, I need to observe all types of documents, whether they are granted or pending. The next brainstorming step helps me to broaden my subject. My main topic is smart toothbrushes. My major keywords are smart toothbrush, and keywords that can describe my subject are wash or clean teeth. What makes my subject special is that an application in a smartphone gets the data via the sensors of the toothbrush. About classifications that describe this topic, I know already that the main class that can be relevant for me goes under the class describing brushes with additional arrangements. And concerning competitors, I made a tour in a shopping center, and I discovered that my potential competitors can be Colgate and Procter & Gamble, this latter one producing Oral-B products. After all, the search process should start. So let's go through the points that I have mentioned before via my smart toothbrush example. I hope you are ready. We are now at the start line. So ready, steady, go. So before I start my search, I know that the IamIP platform has a highlighting function that can help me visualizing potentially relevant documents by highlighting words with color codes. So I will activate this. For me, this makes it easy and fast to find the relevant documents directly, as the words will appear highlighted in the abstract, claims, and description part of the document. Before launching a search, I highlighted different keywords like toothbrush, smart, control. To get a first overview, I need to start the search with the information I have. So in this case, I start easy and check what I get for smart toothbrush in the database. I use the field search and I put the keywords smart and toothbrush in the text field. The next move for me is to go through the hits of the search and collect relevant documents that I can further analyze. IamIP has for this the portfolio, so I can put all relevant documents in a dedicated portfolio called Smart Toothbrush. After the first check of the documents, I can start the review process in the portfolio. When I analyze these documents, I might find potential competitors, new keywords, or even new classes. For example, I discovered a new competitor called Unilever. As I have found a lot of new keywords, classes, competitors, I prepared a search glossary, like shown here. So, for example, I can make a list in an Excel about all the information I have at my disposal. And based on my analysis, I found a lot of new information, new keywords and synonyms like sensor, detection, measuring. I have found other classifications and competitors too. This glossary is very helpful for me to change my perspective. So after creating it, the next point is the iteration. It means that I have learned a lot about my topic via the last document, and now to get a better overview, I need to take the information from my analysis to the search string and see what I can find. As mentioned before, searching is not only one search, but rather a process of doing different searches. Why? Because if I only search for keywords or IPC classes, it would be a too high number of hits. Therefore, if I only started with IPC classes, I would have over 10,000 hits that nobody can check. Thus, the only thing I can do is to find a way to limit the number of hits. Then the combination of two fields, such as IPC classes and keywords, can help me to get a few documents that is possible to check. At the end, it is worth checking the citations in the detailed information of the relevant documents so that I can see other interesting documents. Cited documents mean the other documents which are cited in the document that I'm checking. So everything that happened before. Citing documents are the posterior or later documents which are citing the document that I'm checking. If I check the citations for the relevant documents that I have found, the chance that the citation will also be relevant is high. For example, I checked the citation part of this document, toothbrush with removable smart device from 2017, and I could see that a USA document cited it in 2022. So thank you for your attention. Now I give back the word to Fabian, who will summarize for you the top tips.
Yes, thank you, Barbara. I mean, we had already some questions also in the case of searches. After the summary, I will go to these points that you have addressed. But from here, yeah, I would like to start to summarize a bit what Barbara showed you today. Yeah, so we believe that it's really good and it's a good starting point to analyze your case. So you really need to think why you're doing the search, in which field, how much time you have to do this search, because this is also really important. So if you're doing an FTO, for example, a freedom to operate search, this is something that takes more time than if you just have an idea and you would like to check really in 30 minutes, 1 hour, what you can find in the database. Yeah, then you really need to work time efficient. And then I believe the way that Barbara showed you is or might be the right way to really just start to analyze what you know. I know most people of you are technical experts. Yeah, so even if it's something that is really new, yeah, at least you have some keywords in mind, or maybe you have already some competitors or other companies in mind. After this, the phase is what I also believe is really important, to collect the information that you know, because then you have already a good starting point from different perspectives. Yeah, so really first think about what you know, and then collecting all the information. And then the point 3 is really take your time. Yeah, maybe you can start really easy. And then from this point, yeah, what Barbara mentioned, you collect some documents, you store it, and from the documents that you have found, yeah, you really can learn more and iterate your process. Yeah, so the point to analyze the things that you have, yeah, I think this is really important, because then you can find some really nice classification that maybe fit to your topic. You can maybe find already some competitors also, some companies that working in the same field. And then also what I also believe is really relevant is to find synonyms. Yeah, as you know, the patent world and patent attorney will never write it like a technical person. They always like to describe things. So really think also about the synonyms, how a word can be also explained, yeah, or described with other words. And then I think this was the point also that was really helpful to iterate it, to change the perspective. Yeah, it's not possible to check 20,000 or 100,000 documents. Yeah, so therefore you need to find a way to limit it down. And I think the combination, yeah, rather is it maybe IPC classes with keywords or the competitors. Yeah, so really you need to find a way to limit it down. And I think Barbara also showed you today that there are ways of how to do it. And I believe, yeah, or we, yeah, if you now think, okay, maybe I need some more help, yeah, please contact us. Yeah, we are there. Yeah, we would like to help you. And then I think, yeah, you can start, yeah, your rocket, and you can start to make your searches. Yeah, and I believe, yeah, now you're motivated, or I hope you're motivated to go directly in the platform and doing your searches, and start with some easy things, collecting information, and being, as Stefan, after some time, a good search expert. From here, I would like to take the questions that you had. So maybe I just go up now. And we had one question. It was about using or not operators also in the field search. In the field search, you have seen maybe already in the a bit more complicated search strings that it's possible in each field also to using or and not. But just if you have the different fields, yeah, for example, the applicant field and then maybe the title abstract field, you cannot combine it with other Boolean operators than an and. Yeah, so therefore, and this is what Barbara mentioned, you need to go to the advanced search option, and here maybe the flexible search is maybe the next one. Today the topic was to starting by scratch, yeah, so we wanted to try to make it really easy. Of course, the next step would be then to also try the flexible search or then even the command line search. But as mentioned in the field search, if you're in one field like the applicant field, you can use also or and not. Then just to go to the next question, just give me 1 second that I get an overview about it. I mean, in IamIP, we have this 4 different options to doing a search. Yeah, we had the simple search, we have the field search, flexible search, and also the command line search. We have also analysis function that you can also use to check the most relevant classifications. This is something that is a bit also more specific. Maybe I can give you later some more insights about this. But I think also what Barbara showed today is like if you have 5, 6, 7 documents to put it into a portfolio, and then starting from this portfolio to go through the detailed information. So we always presented first the abstract, the figure, some biographic data, but if you need to go a bit deeper to this, we have the point detailed information, and there you can also find then the citations. Yeah, you have seen it in the picture, there was citing, where you can get the information. We have there also the legal status information, and then there are also the claims and description. Then just give me 1 second more. It's a longer question. Yeah, so this point is a bit about also a machine translated keyword function. Yeah, I mean, this would be nice. I mean, what we're doing now is for the documents from Asia, we always have an English translation for this that you also can search for this. I believe to find the synonyms, yeah, this is something that is really heavy. It could took some time, but maybe there is in the future something that can help you. I personally also sometimes I just check in Google if there are some synonyms for some words, but I also believe that it could be really helpful to have something like like a synonym finder, for example. We have one question about saving the search queries. Yeah, so what you can do, what we're doing is, if you're having the command line search, we have the history that is stored in the browser. Yeah, so here even you have the history of the searches that you have done to really go into this iteration process to collect the information in the search history. This is something that you find in a pink bubble, yeah, next to the search function, where we store the last 50 searches. And what I or really often recommend is, if you're doing a searches, you store the documents in a portfolio, and then in this portfolio we have a summary function where you can also have an information field. And in this information field, I always recommend also to store the search string that you had. Yeah, so then you have a portfolio with the document that you have found, and in the summary part you can store your search queries to see what you have done. And otherwise, yeah, we have a last question. This is about the freedom to operate. We know, yeah, since we're working in the platform, and this is maybe something that Stefan a bit more educated in the freedom to operate search. Freedom to operate is really, you make a decision if you can go with the product or development further, and there is no patent that you might infringe. And this is something, yeah, the freedom to operate, you really need to be careful. Yeah, this is something that really takes time. And I think in the beginning, Barbara mentioned it a bit. Yeah, I mean, freedom to operate could be a webinar for itself. But here it's really important to check, yeah, here the documents are that pending and granted are the most interested, I would say. And of course, here it's more important to go really through the claims, because you really need to check the scope of protection of the patents to really make a decision if your product or your development don't infringe any patents that are pending, or then even more necessary to check the granted documents. But here also, Barbara, to you, it was, somebody said that it was really helpful. Yeah, so I think this is really, really nice feedback. We really appreciate so many people were today here at our webinar. Just to give an insight, the next webinar, it will be, I believe, at the end of March. We don't have now the date, but it will be more about collaboration. As you know, IamIP has a lot of functions, yeah, that you can use in the collaboration to collaborate with the colleagues. Last year we had some really nice developments with IamIP rules, for example. We had the drop-down menu, and this collaboration, we would like to give you more insights what is important as a team, and how IamIP can help you in this collaboration, that you as a team are successful in the patent world. From here, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We also had the question to share the presentation, what we can do. And otherwise, yeah, I wish you all a nice year, yeah, a successful year. We will see us again. And yeah, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Stefan. And thank you to all participants. See you the next time.
Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.